At the time of the audit, over $478 million in drugs were yet to be delivered. And the manager of a company that is a shareholder of Hess Guyana Exploration Limited, a company that holds a 30% interest in Guyana's prolific stubber block, has stated that it will be patient and stick beside Hess owing to Crown Jewel Guyana. This was reported by Barron's last August. Barron's is a leading source of financial news, providing in-depth analysis and commentary on stocks, investments, and how markets are moving across the world. ExxonMobil subsidiary, Esso, is the operator of the stubber block with a 45% interest, and the other partner, Sinnock, with a 25% interest. We had reported that for the third quarter of 2022, Exxon announced that its overall earning was a record-shattering $19.7 billion US dollars. And that's the news of the moment. Thank you for listening.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
With the time now moving on to 11 hours 2 in Guyana. Coming up next, the rebroadcast of the Lall Show. Tell it as it is.
I talked about last Friday that owes GRA taxes on the side job she doing at the call center. Yes. Well, guys, I did a TikTok the next day on it. Joshua, within 3 hours, 50,000 people viewed it online. By the next morning, it was 100,000 people. Before I came on this program, it went past 160,000 on my page alone. Wow. On Facebook and YouTube and the other people's pages who shared it, has maybe another 250,000 viewers. Wow. Last night, I posted another TikTok showing how 75 of every 100 barrels of oil ExxonMobil bring out there on a daily basis, they're taking out as on inflated bills. You hear me? Yeah. The inflated bills in the billions they're throwing on us as expenses and investments, Josh. Then the 25 barrels, ExxonMobil busting up and calling that half and half profit. Out of that half of the 25 barrels, the 25, we got to pay GRA the taxes that Exxon is supposed to pay, Joshua. So Exxon walking away with 87.5 barrels of oil, and we only getting 12.5 barrels of oil. And out of that 12.5 barrel, our 12.5 barrels, we have to not only pay Exxon taxes, but to fix back the roads and the parapets that the oil sector damaging with their heavy-duty vehicles. This TikTok, Uncle and Auntie, posted last night. And up to tonight, before I come on the program, it had just over 20,000 viewership. And maybe you got another 20,000 on YouTube and Facebook and the others who share it. You see what captures people's attention? A poor teacher got to pay she fair share of taxes on a side job. On a side job she doing. And ExxonMobil that is walking away with all our oil, not paying a single 30% of taxes is not being viewed by the Guyanese populace. I love Guyana. And I love all of you too. On a program 3 weeks ago, I told you guys how a poor 14-year-old girl gave birth to a baby with a truck driver. The Child Protection Agency and the ministry tried their best to protect this girl's identity by allowing her to continue her education, attending another school very quietly. But it so happened that one of her friends bust out the story in the school and they ended up in a fight over the exposure. Yes. The girl felt so embarrassed. She realized that she couldn't go back to school in peace. Yes, in peace. So she drank poison. Her mother, visiting this child in the hospital every day, she is the one that was being molested on a daily basis by the poor security guards working at the hospital for a $200 every day. I did mention that to you guys already. But I repeat this story tonight on this program to let all of you know that this child died this morning at the hospital. Yes, she died. This woman would need help to bury her and to keep wake because she died this morning. They have to do a post-mortem, and that will take a few days, maybe Monday, Tuesday, and then a funeral date will be set. So she will need some help. I will pitch in. You can also pitch in to let us help her get a good funeral. If I am to do a TikTok on the whole story from the beginning to the end, this story will reach over 1 million people. But the TikToks I am doing on the root cause of that child's death attracts very little viewership, uncle. Yeah. The wholesale rape and thievery of our oil and other mineral wealth is the cause of the hospitals not having enough oxygen and the right medication. Yes, if not, that child would have been alive today. Your own wealth in this land is not being viewed by the Guyanese as much as stories like this. I am not upset with you guys' life. No, I am not upset. I hope and pray every day that those of you who listen to this program do what I am doing. Teach your neighbors to be conscious or to get conscious of this God-given wealth He blessed us all with. And with that, I say namaste to all of you. Bad manners. Sorry about that. Namaste. And let's get on with tonight's business. Last night, President Ali announced 8% increase across the board for public servants. People who are working for minimum wage, $75,000, they will now take home $81,000, $6,000 more. Now you tell me, what $6,000 more can buy? Everything in the supermarkets and the store double and triple. And he giving our policemen and women our soldiers, nurses, and teachers, and the whole public service, $6,000 and $8,000 more on their salaries, depending on the salary they're working for. Man, you getting $6,000 more in the fastest growing economy on earth called Guyana. They can't find money to triple the people's salaries to meet the supermarket prices, but they can give away listen to this carefully, 3 out of every 4 barrels of oil to ExxonMobil for inflated costs. Good going. Lovely country this is. Stay tuned. More to come on this same matter that I talk about. I'm going to do a tic-tac on it again. Now listen to this one. Global Witness, a respected international organization that review oil contracts all across this world to see what deal both parties getting, was the first agency that told the world and all of Guyana how the coalition government, in negotiating the Exxon deal, left $55 billion American dollars on the table while negotiating the deal. You hear that, Auntie? $55 billion American dollar Trotman and the others take out from our pockets and give it to ExxonMobil with that deal. That's how stupid we are. Just in case you can't wrap your head around $55 billion American dollars, Uncle, that money could have paid off Guyana and the whole Caribbean debts. It could have built roads, highways, and schools all over. And it could have tripled people's salaries for life. That's the kind of money we lose out. We lose out on before signing that stinking dirty deal. We could have demanded billions of US in signing bonus, sliding scale bonus, production bonus. We would have never had to pay billions of US dollars in exploration costs and so many other things. That's the first massive blunder Guyana made, all because of the national culture of highly incompetent and highly corrupt people. Since then, the leaders of this country, old government and new government, keep on digging bigger and deeper holes for all of us as the oil sector expands. Yes, there is not a single oil export in this world who haven't criticized Guyana for this crime. Yes, this crime the coalition government committed against the Guyanese people. Not one Guyanese I know of, including President Ali, Vice President Jagdeo, Norton and Ramjatan, or any MP, have not criticized this horrible contract we have. Not one of them. Yet, they come to do nothing about it. Yes, they will not change this crippling jumbie we have sitting on our back, so that this nation and its people can taste the benefits of our oil. All of them silent. They will not lift a finger, Uncle, to make any changes. This is the people I place your trust in and stain your fingers for, hoping that they will do what is right and best for you. Look what they're doing today. Look what they're doing today. Absolute nothing. I forgot to tell you guys today is Friday. Friday night. What you guys gonna do? Have a glass of red wine with me? I'm ready to take a glass of red wine with any one of you. Isn't that a wonderful gesture, Josh? Huh? But I know some of you must have never seen a bottle of red wine. You never see one. ExxonMobil and some of our politicians with their friends drinking all the fine wines, cognac and champagne with your oil money, while you settling and settling for jamun wine. I don't know if you're all setting the jamun wine for Christmas. Many days, I wonder if Guyana is really the fastest growing economy in the world. Having discovered over 11 billions of barrels of oil. Somebody should pinch me to see if I'm dreaming this, man. Yesterday, uncle, yesterday, auntie, the lead story in the Kaieteur News make me eye water come after reading it. Here it is. Another international oil industry analyst from oilprice.com, if you Google it, you get it, put out a report that was highly critical of the Suriname deal. You hear that? They put out a report highly critical of the Suriname deal. Not Guyana, Suriname. The analyst, a man named Matthew Smith, says even with the 6.25% royalty, all the taxes and profit share that Suriname receiving, the oil companies still receive a sweetheart deal with Suriname. He was comparing what Suriname got as to what other countries in Latin America and the region are currently receiving for their oil. For example, the man said, Argentina is getting 12% royalties. Brazil is getting 15% royalties. Colombia is receiving between 8 to 25% royalties. And Ecuador is between 12.5% to 18%, while Suriname receiving 6.25%. Make sure you guys don't get mixed up, uncle. This is royalty rates alone this analyst is talking about, nothing else. Royalties alone. When it comes to Guyana, when it comes to Guyana, uncle and auntie, in his report, the man like he ashamed to even mention Guyana's name. One paragraph he mentioned about Guyana. And this is what he had to say. I'm going to read it for you guys. While Suriname, 6.25% is higher than the 2 put in place by Guyana government for the Exxon-led consortium exploiting the Stabroek Block, Guyana's 2% is the lowest in Latin America. It's like the breath went out the man's body when Guyana name come up to write that in his report. 2 lines only in the man report about Guyana. You hear that? Only 2 lines. Every newspaper, TV, writer, expert, groups people who are writing books, doing documentaries on Guyana's oil. This export could have only put two lines in his report. So sickening and pitiful and shameful. That man grieving for us that he can only set 2% put in place by Guyana for Exxon to exploit our wealth. Is the worst thing he see in the whole Latin America. That two lines alone, the man said in the report. Oilprice.com. Google it, Matthew Smith, and see his report there. Y'all gonna still drink the wine with me tonight? I'm not in a mood to fret or row tonight. Or you're gonna grab a shot of bush rum. I'm just asking. I'll cheers with you guys anyhow. Suriname getting 3 times more. Argentina getting 6 times more. Brazil almost 7 times. Ecuador 9 times. Yes, 9 times of Guyana 2%. And nobody wants to change that to help this starving country. We're a teacher. We're a young teacher writing President Ali to waive taxes on a side job she's doing. And teachers begging companies for bread and cheese to feed the hungry children. We're getting blackout in classrooms from hunger. Are you sure? Are you want me to continue these programs 3 times a week, Uncle? Huh? Y'all better get up and speak up. I want all of you to send some photographs to this newspaper via WhatsApp with a little piece of paper in your hands, Uncle, that says this contract must change. Are you ready to do that? Start sending that. A little piece of paper that says, change this contract now. And you could send it to 624-6456 or 622-2222. I'll publish it in the Kaieteur News. So that Kaieteur News can show the whole world how you, the citizens, are in the fight to have a fair and just contract with ExxonMobil. So we can get us secure. Or we can secure a better future for you and your children. Is that too much I'm asking for? And this is for the overseas Guyanese watching this program too. You guys can send the photographs with your family with a placard saying change this contract, Jagdeo. Change it, Ali. Change it, Norton. Change it, Ramjatan. I am not calling up for a protest because I know many of you can't afford even a passage to travel for a protest in front Ali or Norton house or office. But you can send a photograph with yourself or with the whole family via WhatsApp so we can show Ali and Norton what they must do or what they have to do. Change the contract. If I don't receive a protest picture from every household in this country by next week, let me say this. I am going to join ExxonMobil, Jagdeo, Ali and Norton to look out for me. Yes, me and me family alone. And left all of you to sit down on your asshole to continue hoping that God Almighty going to secure your future and put food on your table. That's what I'm going to do. You know, there's a quote in some one of the religious books which says, our Creator does look out for people who look out for themselves. Prayers alone don't work. God Almighty said that, not Glenn Lall. You got to get up and get going. Every day that goes by, it is getting more and more sickening. Yes, it is getting more sickening in this country. Jagdev approving more and more projects. Like if that oil belonged to he family and the PPP family along with ExxonMobil. Yes. He approving more and more projects with that same dirty, stinking robbery and prostitute of a contract. I wonder who's getting pay for these services. Exxon or the Guyanese male prostitutes? I'm just asking. Every 4 barrels of oil pump up out there, uncle, 3 coming out as expenses and investments that Guyana didn't approve or know of. None of us know until now. No wonder the analysts are ashamed to talk about Guyana deal and that 2%. I am ashamed to tell you all every day the stories we carry in the Kaieteur News. I only pick them out at random to do these programs. If I am to talk about everything in the Kaieteur News daily, I have to work 96 hours a day on this radio to explain what is going on to you in this country. We wouldn't have enough newsprint or ink or people to write the horror stories and explain in details what is going on with this Exxon deal. Trust me on that. The foreign oil analyst uncle, the man's so ashamed that Guyana 2% can hardly come out his mouth. This is unbelievable. It's unthinkable that they did an analysis of the whole Latin America and left out Guyana. Just make a mention that we get the lowest in the entire Latin America. I can feel the shame in the man's paragraph, 2-sentence paragraph, that he didn't even want to mention the name Guyana. It's unthinkable, man. That every day since 2015, the world talking, and these criminals y'all have, although they promise to bring about a change, they will not make a move. Man, if an Ali gets so bold and brazen, earlier this week, he tell my reporter, anyhow you twist it or turn it, the answer is no. No, where changes is concerned to the Exxon contract. And when Norton is contacted on renegotiation, he tell my reporter, let Glenn Lall ask him himself. As for Jagdev, when this topic raised with him, he suddenly become a long distance runner. He had disappeared into the distance where you can't even see him. You know, in the midst of preparing this program yesterday, England announced another huge increase on the mega profits that the oil company is making right now. In May month this year, 6 months ago, I told you guys how England slapped on a windfall tax of 25% on the oil company's profits. Well, yesterday, England went further and slapped on an additional 10%. An additional 10% on top of that 25%, which takes it to 35% on the profit they're making on every barrel right now. Imagine a rich country like England was already collecting their rightful share of taxes required by the laws of Britain from the oil companies, has taken it upon themselves to slap on 35% taxes more on the profits the oil making. In Guyana, Ali and Jagdale and Norton allowing ExxonMobil and the others to walk away with what the law requires to pay. They're allowed to walk away with that tax-free. Much less to get them to slap on a windfall tax like England or America or Canada and France. Tell me, uncle, isn't this a crime being committed against the people of this country? This oil belongs to every Guyanese, every one of us, every drop of it. Where is your voice, man? Why Lall has to take this fight to the High Court to get ExxonMobil to pay Guyana what is due to us by law? Huh? Why other citizens have to move to the court to ensure that our country's environment is protected from the dangerous operations that Exxon conducting out there? Could you tell me? Why? Why we have to do that? The US, Canada, Denmark, France, England, India, and many other rich oil countries have slapped on new taxes other than what the oil companies are already paying them. And these clowns, sorry, Mr. John, these intellectuals we have for politicians not doing a single thing to make our lives better by slapping on any tax on these companies. The poor teacher, what GRA say, she owe them taxes, can't eat and sleep properly because of the taxes she owe. We government giving away 3 barrels out of every 4 barrels of oil pump up there every day as expenses and investments, tax-free. You believe this thing? You gotta love Guyana, man. You gotta love Guyana. And the one were left, the 1 barrel were left out of the 3 is boss 50-50, and they call half and half profit sharing. And out of that what you collect, you have to pay GRA tax for ExxonMobil. Don't forget, we still drinking a glass of wine, right? Whether you take the wine, The jamun wine or a shot of bushrum after the program. Wow. While them giving away everything, Ashley Singh telling Guyana yesterday how the money from the oil and gas is still small, considering the amount of things we got to fix and correct in this country. Oh boy. We reported that story in the Kaieteur News yesterday. This is the kind of things that make me sick, make me look at the color white and think it's red when I read them. Revenue from oil still small, can't develop the country. You guys believe these things coming out these people's mouths at this day and age in the fastest growing economy on earth? Eh? Oil revenue still small? Really? And not doing anything to change it? Wait, man. This man telling y'all how are you got to live, how are you got to continue living the same way you're living there, uncle. And that's what he's telling you there. God got to come and help you. Only he got to help you. Allowing ExxonMobil, let me repeat, man, this thing got to sink in your head because like you're not getting it. It's the same tic-tac-a-do and nobody get it. With 75% they're taking out as cost oil. I'm breaking it down here simple. Allowing ExxonMobil to carry away 3 out of every 4 barrels of oil coming up every day. Paying no taxes. And our financial guru, Ashley Singh, got the nerve to tell us, only yesterday in the Kaieteur News, man, that revenues from the oil is too small for the kind of development they want to do in the country. You guys see why I want to cry for you? Huh? It is because when I read these stories, uncle, you and your children will have to live the way you're living for the rest of your lives. And they're going to be running to foreign banks every day for borrow loans to take out the blackouts. Yes, they're giving you, right now, many parts of Guyana have blackout right now. And they will continue taking loans to pay the magadag salaries and pensions that you're getting presently. Please don't forget the photographs I asked for. I want it from every family in this home. Please send them to me so I can put them in the Kaieteur News. Tell the world and show the leaders we need a change to this madness, this insanity that is going on in this land. Uncle, I find this thing very strange. Very strange. All are you ready for cuss down at your neighbor if they thief something from out of your yard? All are you ready for kill a young man if he snatch at your chain, purse, hijack at your car or motorcycle? But the biggest criminals in this country were robbing at your whole future, stealing your hopes and that of your children and grandchildren's future. Man, I run. I run when I see them. I puja them. Throw my all around them neck. Some of you just bow down at their feet like if them is some type of God in this world, while them a put a yoke and a chain round your neck. God bless all of you. I mean that. I mean that. God bless all of you for doing things like that. Every day you open the newspapers, turn on the radio or the TV, and on social media. Not Kaieteur News and Kaieteur Radio. Jagdev cussing Norton. Norton cussing Ali. Ali cussing Ramjatan, and Ramjatan cussing Christopher Ram and Glenn Lall. This is what you have for leadership. These are the oil and gold managers you all elect. Yes, the people are you staying on your fingers for. I saw 2 days ago Norton describing Jagdeo as an economist. He grinned and quickly corrected it to economist. Yes. Jagdeo and Ali, on the other hand, spending hours at press conferences, abusing and cussing down the opposition. This is what they're good for. And this is what y'all find entertaining and interesting. Go online and check the TikTok, and you can see how many people viewing those things. I pity some of you people. You people don't know. You people don't know. These are deliberate actions. The circuses, the schemes that they spend a lot of time on to distract the entire nation from the money that we should be getting. You guys don't know that. And that will continue. And all of you are going to go back and vote for them. When last you heard a politician speak about your oil, your gold, your bauxite, your timber, or your manganese? If they're not asked by the Kaieteur News reporters, you hear absolutely nothing from them. All you're hearing is Wash, these things say, we are not getting enough revenue to develop Guyana. We are not going to touch the ExxonMobil deal. And we have to keep borrowing. Yes, we have to keep borrowing. But they're the best people to run this country called Guyana. What you say? We will still have the glass of wine? Let me close off with this for tonight. It's Friday. Vikram Bharat attended a forum yesterday and told the audience they are not touching the oil contracts. And that we must be careful. We must be sensitive about how we talking about renegotiation. He said we must honor the oil contracts because the country's reputation is at stake. My God. What? Yes, uncle. The man tell the audience yesterday they are not touching the oil contract. And that we must be careful. We must be sensitive about how we talking about renegotiation. He said we must honor the oil contracts because the country's reputation is at stake. ExxonMobil tell all of them to put out that line. Reputation at stake. And these schemers keep on parroting what Exxon teaches them. Joshua?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I want to ask, whose reputation we must honor? In a deal where a crime was committed on this nation And the citizen must honor the reputation of the people who robbed them. Huh? Vikram, you serious? Honor people's reputation who robbing you? You serious? 3 out of every 4 barrel these gangsters taking out calling it cast oil out of our country, paying no taxes in this land, and we must honor the oil contract because the country's reputation at stake. You hear this thing, man? Huh? Are you for real? A pity I can't tell you on this radio whose reputation is at stake or whose reputation you should protect and preserve. When I see you face to face, I'm going to tell you in your face. As soon as the forum finish, uncle and auntie, man, the man walk away without taking a single question from the reporters. This is the oil minister y'all have. 2 years he sit down in office and never hold a press conference to tell this nation about our oil. Just showing up at 1 and 2 functions, read from a speech or say 2 lines, turn his face and disappear. And if reporters do catch him up while he walking, sorry, we are not here for that. This is the man who is officially in charge of all our natural resources. You believe that, uncle? I swear to God Almighty, if I ever have to sit in a chair of authority, I will make Stabrook Market Square a special court with a hangman cell inside for most of our politicians in this country. Another quick story before I take your phone calls that was reported in today's Kaieteur News. Like I said, I can only pick out one and one, buddy. It is too much. The same Vikram Bharat tell the private sector yesterday to temper down their expectations for greater local content benefits. He said the country simply does not have the capacity. Yes. Temper down their expectations for greater local content benefits. Yes. The country does not have the capacity. Yeah. The ability, the skills, the exports, uncle, the know-how to handle the oil business as yet. That's what he mean. Imagine these chaps knows that the local companies and our citizens can't handle the pace at which they're approving these projects. And how much money we're losing out. And telling us that loud at forums. Yet, uncle and auntie, Vikram Bharat, Ali and Jagdeo is full speed giving out more and more projects to Exxon. You tell me, guys, if this is not insanity and madness to the highest level. On one hand, we don't have the capacity to handle the amount of work at present. Then, if you not got that, who will get the jobs, Vikram Bharat? Not the foreigners? Huh? If we don't have the capacity to do the work now, who will get it? Not the foreigners? So why are you telling the people to temper down their expectation? Uncle, that is like knowing a baby could only drink 1 bottle of milk and you're still making 6 more. Who's going to drink it? Yes, the foreign companies or the foreign picnic gonna drink the milk, uncle. Slow down the pace, one project at a time, so that our people can get au fait. We can get au fait with the work, Mr. Vikram. We can learn the business, Vikram, so we can take on all the jobs. But if I keep on approving more and more projects to Exxon, then the foreigners will eat up all the contracts. The oil will done, and our local companies will still be learning the business. So stop approving and let us learn and take over the jobs. Isn't that the right way, Uncle and Auntie? That's how simple it is. Or if y'all want to speed up the oil sector with more projects, then tell Jagdev, Ali and Norton to make the changes on the upcoming 5th project. Tell them 3 out of every 4 barrel coming out as cost oil got to change. Tell them the taxes required by the laws of Guyana must be paid. Tell them full liability coverage and ring fencing on the 5th project is a must. And with that, yes, with that I say tata, bye-bye, namaste. I am going to sip my glass of red wine. The doctor tell me it's good for my heart to keep up with y'all and y'all program. I have something very special for y'all on Monday. So please invite all your neighbors, friends, and enemies, even if you don't talk to them, to catch me on Monday, excuse me, at 7:20 p.m. And don't forget to listen and share my TikToks. They are very interesting. I just learned before I step up into the radio that India slap on another windfall tax on the oil companies today. India slap on another windfall tax on the oil companies today. We are carrying that story tomorrow in the Kaieteur News. 4 months ago, they demanded more taxes on the excess profits the energy sector making in India. Today, they increase it. They increase it just like England. You guys see what's going on in the world? Every country were already collecting taxes from their oil companies, asking for more as the oil prices keeps climbing. You living in blackouts. You drinking mud water, stinking water. You don't have money to patch roads. You don't have money to buy medication and oxygen to save a 14-year-old life. You don't have money to pay a proper salary and give them old people a proper pension so that they can live and feed their families properly. You don't have money to build proper schools for our children. You have the children going to school fainting in classrooms, and you giving away your timber, your gold, and hiding the mining contracts from the Guyanese people. You giving away 3 out of every 4 barrels oil ExxonMobil pump up that daily on inflated costs to make them country into the real heaven on earth, while you living in hell on earth in Guyana. By not implementing or getting the oil companies to pay the taxes stipulated by the laws of Guyana, or even Slapana windfall tax that every Guyanese pay. What more do you need to see? What more do you need to hear? How much more do you need to know? And how much more are you going to take to get your mouth to open and your feet on the streets? I'm still waiting. I'm going to open my phone in the next 20 minutes as the phone calls come in to see how much picture y'all send in that says change this contract, Jagdeo. Have a great weekend.
Lock me up for days. Oh yeah, Patrice, I want you, and I could